Hey, Curtis.
Hey, Oz.
What movie do you have this week?
Oh, for our movie marriage this week. And by the way, for my punchline, I'm definitely going to hell for this one.
Oh, fun.
So for this week, we've got Death Race 2000 meets The Incredible Hulk,
Okay.
plus some Dexter, all brought together by The Blind Side. This week, we're watching The Toxic Avenger.
That's not as bad. That's not as bad as I was anticipating.
Yeah, it's still a little, but it kind of reminds me of a couple of months ago when we were covering What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Oh yeah,
and yes, was it Big Mama's House?
Big Mama's House. That one was more hell worthy than The Blind Side. So. It's fair. Yeah. I love it when you go there because you always feel a little dirty when you do.
I do. I always feel a little icky. Like,
gross.
We got to take a shower as soon as I'm done here.
Another one.
Yes.
You showered right before the show, and then you're like, I gotta shower again.
Just rinse away the ick.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers, to another week of Let's Talk About Flicks, the podcast. We take a monthly theme. This month being Troma, the Troma universe.
Yes,
and we satisfy it with a movie. It's your pick this week. I'm one of your hosts, Oz.
I'm the other host, Curtis.
And before we get rolling, we definitely want to give another shout out to our favorite Tromaville residents.
Yes,
Don S, Aaron A, Mandy K, Melissa L, Colleen K, and Lyle M. Thank you one and all for your patronage.
They are 6 of the 15,000 residents of Tromaville.
Yep.
As we see on every side, 15,000.
Okay, we obviously have covered Class of Nukem High,
yes.
and we're about to cover Toxic Avenger, of which I recognized 3 actor crossovers.
Yes, there were several.
Yeah, and so which of the 2 movies that we've either discussed or are going to, where would you put our Patreon subscribers in terms of who is their Troma universe comp?
Yeah, because we've got the guy who plays Bozo in Toxie, and he's the weird ponytail guy.
Yeah,
we've got the what's the guy? Pat something or other, Pat Ryan Jr.
Yeah, he was Spike, and now he's Slug.
Yes. And who am I forgetting? Who's the other one?
The mayor.
The mayor. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's who you're talking about. That was him.
Yeah.
Pat Ryan Jr. is Peter Belgoody. I was talking about Slug, Robert Pritchard.
Oh, okay.
He was Spike and Class of Nukem High.
That's right. Okay. So we're comping our 6 Patreons to them.
Yeah, who's Don S in the Troma comp? Not of those 3, but just of any character in the Tromaverse that we've covered thus far or are about to cover right now.
Okay. So which character is Don S?
Yeah.
I could see Don S in a mirror universe. I could see Don S being like the mayor or being the head of the nuclear plant. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see like the evil like mustached version.
Yes.
The
much better shape.
Yes, yeah. Of course, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
Yes, I could see as awesome as Don is. I could see alternate universe evil mustache. Being the bad guy.
I got you there. I got you there. How about Mandy K? Where would you put Mandy K? We won't necessarily do all 6. We'll just got a spot.
No, Mandy K is definitely Spike. She's
Spike and Slug, or just Spike.
Yeah, just Spike. Yeah, she's the leader of the former NHS.
That's
she's the Cretins.
That's fair.
She's got the brains for it too.
She definitely does. Yes, she
NHS.
Does. Yeah. So I could see a Spike there. For sure. And of course, we can't go. Where's Lyle M on the meter? On the Troma meter.
Oh, God. I think Lyle M is Cigar Face.
Yeah.
That's why they call me Cigar Face.
Yeah. I know I just kind of dropped out of you, but I didn't want to necessarily go through all 6. But
sure.
Aaron A, Mandy K, Melissa L, and Colleen you guys all have a space, or we already hit Mandy, Aaron, Melissa, and Colleen. You guys all have a space in the Troma universe as well. So Colleen is Marissa Tomei.
she's Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, and the Tromaverse. So
I think Melissa's definitely Toxie.
Yes.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Yes, yeah, because Melissa has a very strong sense of justice
and a very strong sense of smell.
Yeah, literally and figuratively, she can smell anything.
Yeah, it's really strong.
Smells me coming a mile away.
But no, yeah, Melissa is definitely Toxic.
She is Toxic
for sure. And Aaron is well, that's your sister. I don't want to place her in the Tromaverse.
Aaron is the teeny boppers that are held up at the Mexican restaurant in Toxie.
Teeny boppers.
Teeny boppers. She's the teeny boppers.
Oh, I love this movie.
I love
it so much.
So it scratches such a great and terrible itch.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, this is your movie this week.
Yeah, it is.
So
yes.
I've got the cast. It's a complicated cast of characters in a way, because I kind of get to it later. This is to be fair, it's a well-directed bad movie.
Yeah.
Like there's a clear plot that they're going for. I mean, this isn't just a crapshoot. Like I really felt like this is a movie that is bad because of the level of talent involved.
Yeah.
Below,
and because
that's not a knock on them.
Yeah, and because of the type of content,
of course,
that they do, and that's Troma.
Yeah, but with that being said, like this, I know it seems odd. There's not a lot of like goofs in the movie, like continuity wise. It makes sense. Like what Lloyd's put together by directing this movie is it's a comprehensive film. Like you're watching it, and so. The reason I mentioned, complicated cast is because we see characters that I know you'll get to that almost felt like they should have been like primary targets of Toxie that aren't. They're almost like side quests, but yet they're solely responsible for the reason that he's in. So anyway, so we have Mitch Cohen as Melvin. But previously played pre-mutation by Mark Torgel as Melvin the Mop Boy. But Mitch Cohen is the biceps and special effects and makeup of it.
Mitch Cohen sounds like a Sports Center anchor.
He does, yeah, I agree. Yeah, or a middle reliever for
Now entering the game, Mitch Cohen.
Yeah. So Mitch and Mark, and we can't forget Kenneth Kessler, the guy who has ADR'd into the entire film.
Hey guys,
it's so goofy. So these three team up to make the Toxic Avenger.
Yes, they do.
Who is not mentioned at all by that name. He's just the monster hero.
He's the monster hero, yep.
Mark Torgel starts as a janitor who gets turned into a deformed superhero after being dumped headfirst into toxic waste.
After diving headfirst into toxic waste.
It is Tromaville. They're everywhere. We have Sarah, played by Andrea Miranda, who is his blind girlfriend.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't think she was really blind. That's just me.
I don't think so.
I know you're not on TikTok. And it's one of those other like Kid Junior down. They may have been on Facebook, but there's this I'm not sure who sponsors it, but there's this trend going on around TikTok where parents have convinced their kids that there's like prize money to be given by some institute for the blind or something like that. Okay. So they are videoing their kids, but asking their kids to pretend that they're blind so they have a better chance of winning this money. And of course, there's not a real contest.
Okay. It's just a goof on their kids.
Yes. It's as terrible as it sounds. But these kids are giving it the whole hog. They're giving it the effort. And they're 7, 8-year-old kids. And so they are giving what their interpretation of how blind people act. And it's one of those, it shouldn't be funny, but
sure,
but is comical. So
and how many of those videos compare in performance to that of Andrew Miranda?
I would say they're pretty on par.
Eyes darting everywhere.
Yes. Although a lot of these kids like they go cross-eyed for it, and it's one of those. It's like, oh, this is wrong, but it's also it's like watching someone trip and fall. Like it's not supposed to be funny, but you laugh at it. So that's Toxie and Sarah. Those are pretty much the quote unquote good guys of the movie. Then everybody else is pretty much a bad guy for a while. And in terms of like speaking parts, you mentioned Pat Ryan Jr. He plays the mayor, Peter Bellgoody. He's also the head of a crime ring.
Because he's basically the kingpin. I could have used Daredevil. As,
easily. For not only for his role but also his size.
But and the blind thing too.
Yeah. That too. Yeah. This movie basically is Daredevil.
It's Daredevil,
but just like with puzzle pieces in the wrong spot. So you mentioned Cigar Face, played by Dan Snow. He's a drug dealer.
AKA Lyle M.
You have those. You've got 4 people responsible for Melvin's transformation. Gary Schneider is Bozo and Robert Pritchard is Slug. Bozo and Slug also made appearances last week in Class of Nukem High, and their girlfriends Wanda and Julie, played by Jennifer Baptiste and Cindy Mannion.
Transparently, I don't think I ever realized that it was the same. That it was Robert Pritchard. I somehow missed that connection.
That Slug from this and Spike from last week are the same. Yeah. And then Robert Pritchard and Jennifer Baptiste met on the set of this movie and actually got married for like 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you know?
So, it was sweet. We have Dick Martinson as Officer O'Clancy.
Officer Irish stereotype.
Exactly. We're gonna are you Irish? No. Well, we're gonna throw an O in front of your last name, and so you better speak like you're Irish. And he gives it the old college try.
His first name was Seamus, and he had a shillelagh with him at all times.
Exactly. We've got David Weiss as the chief of police, who's also a Nazi. There's a lot purposely wrong with this movie. And then just again a bunch of other just bad guys. There's a few good guys in here, people that get saved by Toxie, but they're not like main characters or even secondary characters by any means. But I'm going to leave some of the names of these, especially Scarface's or Cigar Face's minions, Knuckles and Knuckles and Nipples are their names.
So if you weren't going to say it, I was.
But we also have a like completely unrelated gang of thugs, basically the Warriors, come marching into a Mexican restaurant at one point. Leroy, Frank, and Rico. It's I
love that scene so much.
It's very problematic, but it's also a really like solid scene. So
that's the scene in this movie that a lot of people are point to with
and problems,
and rightfully so.
Yes, very deservedly so.
But it's also, again, if you can get past some of that, it's super fun too.
Yes, it really is. So that's the cat. Again, a lot of people in this movie, but really it's Toxie and Sarah, and then you've got really like 3 different groups of bad guys. You've got the mayor and his clan, and you've got Bozo and Slug, and then you've got Leroy and and Frank, and so that's kind of where we're at. But other than that, we got the army at one point. Like,
the National Guard is there.
Children, a really really tubby guy at a restaurant that keeps his liquor in his pants. It's
his shirt is 3 sizes too small,
way too small. So all right, so what is this movie about?
Well, we open with some narration.
Yes.
Tromaville is the toxic waste dump capital of the world. That's the claim to fame of Tromaville, New Jersey. And we immediately get introduced to a health club, and the health club janitor, Melvin Ferd. Melvin's entire being was changed by toxic chemical waste.
I love that this health club is just like an empty office space. Like
basically, yeah.
Yeah, you walk I get a kick out of it every time they would go in with like through the front doors with the camera, because it's not even like one big room. Like gym wise, it's basically just let's empty these cubicles out of here, and put the exercise bikes there, and it's just there's only one main aisle down the middle of all the exercise.
Yeah, and there's no rhyme or reason as to where
not
everything
at all.
is arranged,
and everybody stands in the middle.
Yeah,
it's silly, but it's Troma.
It's Troma. A song called Body Talk plays. Body Talk.
I love soundtrack off. The soundtrack to this movie is pretty solid too. I left it off my 3, 2, 1s, but it's got
some fun songs in it.
It does.
As the camera moves through the club, and again, it's a Troma film. There's hotties working out everywhere. There's close-ups of bikini-clad women. We see Bozo, pick up a nerd by his hair because Bozo wants to use that weight machine.
Yeah, I love Bozo so much in this movie.
Oh God, me too. And he really, really hits that weight machine hard.
Yeah.
We meet the very large, quite rotund mayor of Tromaville as well. He's getting a very gross massage. I mean, just because there's someone touching him, I think just is the simple fact that makes it gross.
As he's like sideways next to like a 6-foot sub.
Yeah.
that he's eating while being massaged.
Yeah, of course, because why not?
I hope that woman massaging him was the highest paid person on the set.
I would certainly hope so, yeah. Or at least she got some of that sandwich.
They basically just set him up at craft services.
He was lying on the craft services table.
They just set a camera up at craft services to film that scene.
We get to meet Bozo and his three friends as they ridicule Melvin. He's stressing me, Julie.
He's really stressing me out.
He's stressing me, Julie.
I can't take it.
Wanda and Slug note a newspaper article about the group of 4 of them. They commit wanton vehicular homicide for kicks.
Yes.
And they love it.
Yes.
And there's like a point system, thus my Death Race 2000 reference during the beginning. So like that's their whole bit on the side, and they're becoming infamous locally for it. They then threaten Melvin as he their wanted Slug do as he walks out of them having sex in the locker room.
Yeah,
because that's Troma.
It's Troma.
It's Troma. Later, the 4 of them drive while Julie is telling the audience like the points and rules for killing people. So we cut to night. The 4 of them are in the car, and of course, we have to narrate to the audience, this is what we do, and we assign points based on this and that. They might
as well be looking right in the camera while they're doing it.
Yes. Hey, audience, wake. We see a mom send her like little 12-year-old boy out on a bike
at like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
No better time to go ride your bike.
And so, of course, the 4, Bozo and his pals, they see the boy on the bike, and the coast is clear. They run this kid down with their car.
And they show it all.
And it's quite graphic.
Yes.
It's quite gruesome. They start to celebrate because, they kill for fun.
Yeah.
And the kid's still moving. So they proceed to back up and back the car over the kid's head, like basically exploding it like watermelon style.
Yeah, it's like a watermelon full of like raw meat.
Yeah, I could have had Gallagher in my movie.
Yeah, you easily could have. And then the girls get out with their Polaroid cameras and take pictures.
Yeah, that's what they do.
They love it. They love it.
They're awful, terrible people because they do this for kicks and because they can get away with it. The next day, 2 incredibly coked up long haul truckers park their flatbed with open containers of toxic waste right outside the gym.
It's Troma.
It's Troma. There's just open barrels of toxic waste everywhere.
Well, they were probably headed to the local school district so that everybody could re-up their open barrel of toxic waste in the basement of their school.
I mean, I like to think that all Troma movies are in a shared universe.
That was my original, our citizen, or not citizen, our class of Nukem High and Toxic Avenger in the same, like, are they in the, not just Tromaverse, but are they in the same cinematic universe?
Sure,
in much a way that, like, a lot of Stephen King movies have some Venn diagram overlap, maybe not plot wise, but references to characters in the next town over or something like that.
If Bozo and the long ponytailed guy from Class of Nukem High were to touch each other, then the whole universe could explode, like Back to the Future 2 style.
Exactly, yeah. if Slug and Spike were ever caught in the same place at the same time.
Or, what was that terrible, was it Van Damme movie we watched? Where if you run into your past self, then...
Time Cop?
Like the same matter can't occupy the same space.
We want to make sure you know that rule before it happens.
Before we do that. So again, we're at the gym. So this big truck is parked outside with open barrels of toxic waste. And inside the gym, Julie has concocted a plan with the others. She basically lures Melvin into the locker room. Melvin, I find you irresistible. Me?
Mark Torgle's so good at this
he's
role.
Great at this. I want to do it. Do what? Okay. And then she insists that he puts on a pink tutu. I'll meet you out by the pool. Just put this pink tutu on. And we see Melvin, he puts on a tutu.
Right.
He slings his mop over his shoulder.
He's so excited.
He's strutting.
Yes, I love it.
And then, of course, what we expect to happen happens. He walks into the dark area by the pool. They flip the lights on. He mistakes, they brought a goat out, and he's mistakes the goat for Julie. And there's 100 people in there, and they're all just pointing and laughing at him. So awful.
It is.
And so he runs out, and they chase him to the point that he dives out of a window, maybe 3-4 stories up.
Yeah.
Just takes a header out. And because it's a Troma film, he dives right into one of the open barrels of toxic waste.
Yep, doesn't even knock it over.
Nope,
just lands perfectly.
Yeah, no, his there was no momentum there.
Nope.
It's like
his bottom weighted.
Yeah, everybody knows that toxic waste is bottom weighted.
Yeah, they're not going to tip over. That's why there's no lid on them.
It would only make it more top heavy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the precision balance of those barrels.
And so, he's lying on, he pulls himself out of the barrel. He's lying on the ground. His skin is sizzling. A couple of cops come over to check on him. One of them touches Melvin with his hands, and his hands just burst into flames.
To which then the cops then back off and like, we're not touching this.
You're on your own, kid.
Yeah, sorry, kid.
Yeah, and so, his skin is melting off, and we get the classic Melvin's on fire as we cut to a stuntman who is completely engulfed in flames.
Yes. And just way bigger than Mark Torgle.
Oh, yeah, much bigger than Mark Torgle. As Night on Bald Mountain, thank you, Patreon subscriber Melissa L. for knowing the name of that song that's playing. And he just basically runs out of the shop. Yeah. And then we cut to him at home. He's in the bathroom. His mom is knocking on the door, checking on him, and his skin is bulging. His hair is falling out. He gets into the bathtub, and like the water just boils and bubbles, and he transforms into the monster, or as we know him, the Toxic Avenger.
Right.
Mom's outside. My little Melvin, he must have finally reached puberty.
So excited for him.
And she was so excited. Oh, what a good mom. That night, we cut to some of the other no good nicks in town, Oz. We meet Cigar Face and a couple of the goons, Knuckles and Nipples, as they're trying to pay off honest, stereotypical cop Sergeant O'Clancy. But of course, he doesn't go for it because he's the only good cop on the beat.
The only one.
The only one. And so, of course, they proceed to just beat him up, threaten to kill him. They have a gun pointed at his groin when Toxie shows up. He plants his foot directly on top of one of Cigar Face's feet, and just starts speed bagging him. Yeah, just right in the head. He breaks one guy's nose. Nipples, who apparently is like a martial arts expert.
Yeah, they didn't like. There were a couple of them in this movie that could handle themselves.
They could, yeah. Toxie basically like Three Stooges eye gouges him, but like pokes his eyes out.
Yeah.
And then he ends up grabbing both of their heads and bashing them together to the point that like their brains are exposed, killing them.
Yeah.
He takes Cigar Face, dumps him upside down in a barrel, and then starts like punching down to like forcefully to force him further into the barrel. And from the looks of it, he was also punching him directly in the groin as well.
Yes, yeah. It's the only place where else are you going to shove?
If you're going to shove somebody into a barrel, head first, then yeah, you're going to punch them in the groin to get them further into the barrel.
Especially if you want them to cooperate with you and go further into the barrel.
And before he leaves the scene, he takes a couple mops that just happen to be there and shoves them onto the faces of the two dead goons.
Before he and his ADR voice tell O'Clancy that, oh, it's okay.
I've never done anything like this before.
I love the ADR voice.
And it's just a little too loud, and it's so great.
It's perfectly ADR. Like it would be like the ADR equivalent of Jones in Police Academy speaking Japanese.
Yeah,
just like where they're dubbing the movies in English. It's just like, yep, it's obvious you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, or Ash and Evil Dead 2 work shed.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a little too loud. O'Clancy tells the press and the chief, something happened. I'm not quite sure. It was dark and I was beaten up, but God bless the monster. It saved my life. Of course, we then find out that the mayor and most of the cops are behind all the violent crimes in town. With the mayor being at the top of the list, Mayor Pat Ryan Jr., the kingpin of crime in Tromaville. The mayor wants to turn the old toxic waste dump in town into valuable waterfront property, and they toast to "Here's to better living through chemistry." I don't know about that line. I love that line for some reason. Yeah. Melvin goes home. Mom doesn't recognize him, and so he ends up making his own home at the city dump.
Oh, and a very sad song plays. I love the sad Toxie walking Castaway in the soundtrack playing over. It's just it's such just a cheesy 80s montage.
Yeah,
that I really don't think they were being spoofy on them. I think this was legit trying to film a montage for this monster.
Yeah, and he makes this sweet little home for himself.
He really does in the dump.
Yeah, in the dump. We then cut to the scene we talked about before, as one of the scenes that is very infamous for this movie at the Mexican place. It's a Mexican restaurant.
It's which I read in the trivia that is legitimately the name of that restaurant.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Like pre-Troma, the Mexican place is the name of the restaurant.
Of course it is, because they're not going to pay to make a sign when you can just use the real one. And so there we are. We get our three goons that come in. We got Frankie, Rico, and Leroy, who come in to hold the place up. Drop your tacos or I'll blow your brains out.
Leroy is extreme.
Yes, he is. Well, yeah, it's so these three, and the performances by the actors. The Rico guy he's always just got his gritted teeth. Okay. Yeah. And Leroy is great. He's just so intimidating but kind of sly and suave at the same time.
He genuinely looks scary. Not only just with the face makeup, but he wore it well. Like a young Joker or something like that.
That very wide smile.
Yeah, real wide.
Yeah. And again, there's a couple of the moments, the really infamous rough moments that this movie is known for is in this sequence. We meet Sarah, the blind woman for the first time. they shoot her seeing eye dog.
Yeah.
And you see it slide across the room, and you hear yelp.
You see the bullet penetration.
Like a guy tries to kind of stand up for everybody. Hey, why don't you just let everybody go and take me? They just shotgun him right in the chest.
They hold this shotgun to a baby's face.
To a baby. Yeah. And at one point, right before Toxie shows up, Frankie is about to have his way with Sarah right there in front of everybody. So again, it's a Troma film. Does that excuse everything? No. But again, this movie was intentionally made to rattle the senses,
to push some buttons, and the language in the language in this scene isn't any better. Just the way Frankie refers to what he's about to do to Sarah, and it's like you just watch it and you're like, oh, this is but that's, we gotta set the stage. These are the bad guys, and it's perfectly clear that they are the bad guys. Yeah,
they get that point across. And so right before that awful act is about to happen, Toxie shows up, and there's a big fight scene with the three of them versus Toxie. Great fight scene.
Mm-hmm. Really is.
Yeah. So Frankie's got like a switchblade on him, and that's his thing, is he just waves it in people's faces.
Kind of a butterfly knife. And
and so Toxie tears Frankie's arm off and then hits him with it. He kind of he gets his weight kind of over his back and shoulder, just kind of rips his arm off.
He rips his arm off, but Frankie doesn't realize his arm's been ripped off yet. He goes to fight him and then looks at his bloody stump and then freaks out.
Yeah.
It's he's like Acme was behind this arm rip off. As long as you don't look down, you don't realize you're in midair.
Yeah. And he lets out this blood-curdling cry too, Frankie does.
Yeah.
Then, we see Leroy and Rico both, get their shots in on Toxie. Rico takes out nunchucks. He grabs a sword off the wall.
Yeah.
Leroy gets the actor who played Leroy, both Rico and Leroy, there's you could tell, as you said before, these guys can hold their own. They're probably stuntmen.
Exactly. Yeah, these guys were capable before the film.
Yeah, the Rico was using those weapons pretty legitimately, and Leroy throws some of the best fake punches I've ever seen in cinema in this film.
Yeah, he really did. This scene was about those three guys. This scene was, Mitch, you just stand there and play along, but these guys know what they're doing.
Yeah. You just stand with your back to the camera. The camera's kind of pointing over Toxie's shoulder. Toxie ends up making an ice cream sundae in Leroy's mouth, quite literally.
A very thorough ice cream sundae.
Yeah, he's very pleased with himself. He dumps milk out of.
Yeah, and we watch it all. This isn't cut to the end. No, we see. No, if you wanted a tutorial on how to make an ice cream sundae, just watch this part of the Toxic Avenger.
Whipped cream, put the cherry on top.
Exactly.
And then uses the mixer, the milkshake mixer. It basically jams it down Leroy's throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty grisly death. Leroy doesn't get off any easier. Toxie grabs him, holds him over the deep fryer, bends some pipes over his back so he can't escape, and then forces Rico's hands into the deep fryer.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, what a sequence there is.
Well, you don't want to mess with in Tromaville. Toxie's there.
Mm-hmm. Toxie ends up taking Sarah home, because she's like, she basically says, I need help. My dog's gone. And so he takes her home. There's some fun bits here between Sarah and Toxie.
Very slapsticky.
Yeah. She accidentally hits him in the groin with her cane. She says that she can read palms. And so I think she reads one hand and then accidentally grabs Toxie in another place.
Yeah.
Oops. A little later on, the cops go to the Mexican place to investigate, and of course, they're all eating tacos as they're going through the scene.
As the camera cuts officer to officer, they're all
holding a taco. They say they're lying, and then they take a big bite of the taco.
It's so goofy.
Yeah. But of course, they don't believe the workers who were there, the witnesses.
Right. Because one of them's drunk.
Yeah, one of them is drunk, and the other one is just delusional at this point. Yeah. He's shell shocked, basically. We got to a a little sequence here that kind of throws off the pacing of the film, but also is necessary to get the point across. We cut to a German researcher that says that based on the crime scene investigation, the hero has been impacted by toxic waste, but has developed an instinct that commands him to destroy evil.
Yeah. It really, there's a couple of scenes in this movie that, again, like you said, fall into necessity, but also kind of head scratcher, like just really left turn. Yeah. And this was one. This was the first of two for me.
Yeah, and it's the only time we see this character.
Exactly.
But he's basically there to tell the audience this is why Toxie is killing. He must do. He is instinctually compelled to find people who are doing evil acts and to kill them.
Yeah, not just stop them. This isn't like Batman. This is destruction. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I threw Dexter into my movie marriage, because that's kind of Dexter's bit.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy. He's kind of like Robin Hood of murder. Like,
just because I'm bad guy does not make me bad guy.
Exactly. Thanks, Zangief.
And so, coming off of that German researcher saying he has to find evil and kill the evildoers, we cut back to the gym.
Yeah.
And we see a schlubby man, I think is a good word to describe him.
Yes.
Who's selling drugs at the gym.
Almost like forcibly selling drugs at the gym.
Yeah.
It was weird because like last week at Class of Nukem High, with the Cretans were like forcing people to buy drugs for them. It made sense. Like, you're right. This guy is like a Subway delivery guy. Like, he just has this like, he's peaked long time ago. He peaked. But yeah, it's like he's just there and he's like, he's got all the drugs.
All looks like Captain Lou Albano.
A little bit, yeah.
And so he's selling drugs at the gym. We see Wanda and Julie, they're going back through their gruesome crime scene photos. And we get a first-person shot of Toxie entering the gym, and people are fleeing left and right. Very similar shot as to when we got introduced to the gym at the beginning.
Right.
And people are running left and right because by this point in the movie, we still haven't seen Toxie's face.
Exactly. That's one thing that we've seen his body, but you're right. We've not seen Toxie's like face, but like not even in shadows, like
but
purposely
clearly,
haven't revealed.
Yeah. But clearly everybody else in this scene sees his face.
Yes.
And they are terrified and they run off. Of course, the schlubby guy who's on like a chest press machine, I think, doesn't see him coming. And Toxie is drawn to him. And while the guy has the weights in the up position, Toxie forces
Toxie grabbed the cable and lifted him up.
Oh, that's right. He lifted the cable.
And then pulls him in.
Pulls him under the suspended weights, complete with like that kind of rod that goes through the middle.
Yeah, that like alignment rod.
Yeah, that holds the weights up. And he drops, I don't know, a couple 100 pounds plus that rod directly onto this guy's head, just him, crushing the top 2/3 of his head. It's basically like, from the top of his jaw up is gone. So like it cuts back to the guy and it's just brains everywhere. There's just a tongue sticking out of the mandible.
Still flapping.
So great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, I love it. Toxie then goes into the gym sauna. As we see Wanda in the sauna. There was I didn't mention it before, but there was a sequence a little earlier in the movie where Wanda is in the sauna and her boyfriend comes in.
Slug comes in.
Yeah, Slug comes in and he's kind of pretending to be like the Elephant Man or like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
He's covered in a sheet or a towel or something.
Yes. So now in this moment, Wanda is back in the sauna again. And Toxie comes in with the sheet over him, kind of like Slug had earlier. And she pulls the sheet off, and it's Toxie. And that's the first time we see his face.
Right up in the camera.
Oh, yeah, right there. And he picks her up and puts her, let's say, buns first on the hot coals in the sauna.
Yeah.
Because again,
we never officially see her die.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Well, and like, the same thing with Julie, who
with Julie. Yeah, we don't see her die. You assume she's dead, but also like that was a potential hump for me. Was, are Wanda and Julie dead?
Sure.
Because clearly Lloyd pulled no punches with showing a death scene.
Yeah.
Well, why not these two then?
Yeah, that's more than fair. Right after this, and we cut to Toxie in the alley. He's peeing very, very bright green fluid. So he's peeing like a shamrock shake is basically coming out.
Yeah. And it's got some smoke coming off of it. And...
I love how in Troma movies everything's always steaming.
Yes, and very vivid colors.
Yeah. And of course, a pimp in a limo pulls up and has a 12-year-old girl, and he basically offers the 12-year-old girl to Toxie. And of course, Toxie's sense immediately goes off. It's like a Spidey sense.
In a way,
yeah. And so he goes after this pimp, and of course, the pimp has like a dozen goons who come piling out of the limo, and he kills several of them. Another one pees himself and runs off. And then we get a montage of him saving people. Just a great 80s montage.
And it's such a fun, like, you're right, saving people. Woman struggling with opening a jar of popcorn.
I love that scene. Yeah,
it's so goofy. Go for it.
Yeah, she's got just like a jar of like Orville Redenbacher, the kernels. And she's having a hard time getting it open. She's standing in her kitchen. And Toxie just walks up to the kitchen window, which is my favorite part. and he takes it from her, and then he opens it. But of course, in the meantime, all the kernels inside have popped.
Right, because he's toxic.
He's toxic, yeah. I love, my favorite part is just him walking up to the window. Like, what's he doing in her yard?
Yeah, it's like very like Andy Griffith show. Like, just leave it to Beaver-esque. Like, of course you're going to
smell the apple pie on your windowsill.
Of course you're going to be in the neighbor's yard. There's nothing wrong with that, but popping the popcorn when he held it was a nice touch.
Yes, I love that. And the newspaper declares him the monster hero. The mayor sends Cigar Face and 5 other thugs to kill Toxie, but another fun little bit, at night in an alley, and there's 6 guys and they all have Toxie surrounded, and Toxie, kind of $6 million man kind of leaps out of the way, and of course they all just shoot each other, because why would you stand alongside each other when you could stand across from each other?
Of course, that's the only way you're going to get him.
Yeah. We get another little montage of Toxie and Sarah. They're out at a picnic. They're spending time together. She opens a champagne bottle and the cork hits him right in the crotch. just funny.
I love their montage too. It's just like they're there. She's just laughing, and he takes like a parking like cone and uses it like it's a top hat.
Yeah.
She's blind
and she can't see it,
but he's doing these sight gags, and she's just laughing hysterically.
And she has no sight to see the sight gags.
Exactly, but we do, and so we can assimilate why she's laughing because it's funny to us, but she has no reason to be laughing. She can't see any of this.
It's kind of funny if you do a GIF search for Toxic Avenger. That's one of the GIFs that pops up the most.
Okay,
is him like
top hat,
taking the traffic code top hat.
Yeah, it's very like putting on the Ritz-ish.
It is very putting on the Ritz. He's very, very monster from Young Frankenstein. Back in their place, because she's now moved in with him in the dome.
Yes.
I've never felt this way before.
Sarah, what are you doing to me?
As steam comes up.
Yes.
They then have sex because it's a Troma.
It's a Troma movie.
Yeah, as a song called "Is This Love" plays. Is this love?
I mean, yes, there's a sex scene, but it's not revealing at all.
It's pretty tame by Troma standards.
Yeah. I mean, you figure Toxie still has his leotard on.
Yeah.
Sarah's fairly covered up, really. For as much cleavage of hers that they've been showing throughout the entire film, there was no like sitting up full frontal view like Wanda had earlier.
Yeah.
Or that Julie just plain gave Melvin in the locker room. Your very unnecessary Troma nudity.
Yeah. By Troma standards, pretty modest.
Very modest.
Yeah. We cut back to the gym. Toxie's going after Julie this time. He's trapped her in the locker room. There's a chase sequence. He chases her down to the basement and assaults her with a pair of scissors. But again, like you said before, we don't see exactly
we don't
what
see
happened.
it. Yeah.
On the street, Bozo's complained to Slug, "Julie's stressing me,
stressing me out,
stressing me." They beat up an old lady like Clockwork Orange style, just to,
or Class of Nukem High style.
Yes, or that too.
Like, it was the same two actors, 2 Troma movies in a row beating up an old lady.
Wouldn't be surprised if it was the same old lady.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah. They then see Toxie as he's stumbling out of the gym, and of course, them being them, they try to hit him with the car, but he ends up kind of like flipping himself up onto the roof. Toxie grabs Slug and throws him out of the moving car, presumably killing him.
Yeah.
Because that's the last you see of Slug.
Well, he kind of crushed his throat while he was had him around the neck. But yeah. Sure. But yeah, basically, really, I mean, you'll get to Bozo here in a second, but these 4 don't have a visually like gruesome murder scene like so many others.
Yeah, like some of the goons that he's dispatched.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's actually some decent like car chase editing.
Yeah, it's pretty solid
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Toxie basically forces the car off a cliff, and it blows up at the bottom. Yeah.
Well, Toxie's in it too. Yeah, they're both in it.
They're both in it, killing Bozo, and Toxie, of course, walks away because he's Toxie.
Yeah.
A little bit later, Toxie assaults a female little person at a dry cleaner.
This is the second scene that really just like didn't feel like it fit. Like,
I
just really took the momentum out of it for a minute.
Yeah, and initially you get the impression that like is Toxie's this instinct that's driving him, is it off now?
Well, he even questions it.
Yeah. Because he's compelled to kill this little person.
Yeah.
Turns out that she's running, she's like a human trafficker or something,
and like runs
that.
Like a white supremacist group.
but initially he doesn't know that. Toxie doesn't know that,
right.
and the mayor and the chief, they dug into her past, and of course, she has this horrible persona behind the scenes, but they keep that quiet because now it looks like Toxie is going after innocent
because the
people.
mayor didn't know it initially either, because he was excited that he screwed up.
Yeah,
like we can go get him, we could go destroy him now. He's no longer the hero. He's done.
Yeah,
but that's when the police chief was like, well, she actually was pretty terrible.
Yeah, and because at this point the mayor and the chief have identified like Toxie is getting in the way of our plans here,
right?
And so they finally have a way to rally resources and turn public sentiment against the monster hero. As you said, he goes back home and tells Sarah, we have to get away from people. I can't control my impulses. So they end up moving into a tent in this kind of like remote
another and I love it when they're packing up and they're leaving and they're walking down the street and he's basically dressed like a Ninja Turtle in disguise, like
Raphael in the first Ninja Turtle movie.
Trench coat, top, he's got like a fedora. As they're walking, he says to Sarah, "Are you sure I look inconspicuous enough?" Like, why are you asking your blank girlfriend how you look?
Yep.
But it's one of those that like, is Lloyd leaving these jokes in there or is it just it's a Troma film?
Yeah.
Like it's a little goof that we're like, whatever, let's just keep rolling.
So they figure out what the little old lady was doing, but they've got the sentiment against Toxie. So they end up calling the National Guard as well as local PD to hunt down and kill Toxie.
Right.
Night on Bald Mountain plays again as they descend on Melvin and Sarah. But O'Clancy, he saves some kids, the workers from the Mexican place, and his mom all rally to the cause, and they put themselves between the National Guard and the cops and Melvin and Sarah. Kind of like a human shield in a way.
Yeah.
So the troops and the police end up ignoring the mayor's orders to shoot Toxie. As Toxie walks up to the mayor and asks if he has any guts. And Toxie proceeds to punch the mayor in the stomach, disemboweling him.
Yes.
In front of the entire community.
Yes.
And hundreds of members of the National Guard, to the crowd's delight.
Yep, it's very the end of Wizard of Oz, where
yay,
the witch is dead. Yeah, I love how he pulls out the mayor's guts, and then the mayor takes whatever,
stuffs him back in,
takes the gut out of Toxie's hand, and like you said, shoves it back in the hole.
All fixed up.
I'll be fine.
It's all back in there.
It's where it came from.
Yeah. And then the narration comes back and kind of wraps up the story. And that, my friend, is 1984's The Toxic Avenger. What a movie, Oz.
Oh, I love it.
All right, folks, at this point in the show, Oz and I give our own unique rating to the film we've been yapping about. In this case, The Toxic Avenger. Oz, how would you rate this flick?
I'm giving this 84 toxic barrels.
84 toxic barrels. That's pretty good.
What are you giving it?
Oh, I haven't even thought about this. Let's go 75 up. Melvin's on fire.
That'll be a GIF. I'm sure it will.
Yep. Oh, every week Oz and I scour the interwebs searching for unprofessional reviews that tickle our funny bones, and we hope they tickle yours as well. In this week's edition of Outside Insight, Oz, what is your outside insight?
All right, my outside insight. It's a little lengthy, but not too bad. I think it's well put together here.
Go for it.
It is from September of this year.
Ooh.
It starts with R.I.P. Bozo. Wanted to watch this with my mom. She got up and left after about a minute when they showed a fat naked guy getting a massage. Probably the most anticlimactic viewing experience I ever had. Also among the worst movies I ever watched. Everybody involved in the making of this piece of media hates film and hates humanity. Vile, tasteless, disgusting without purpose. Movie equivalent of that weird kid from high school who always wore camo and just stopped showing up after 8th grade, which is probably for the better because he probably had done a Sandy Hook otherwise.
Oh, jeez.
It doesn't even get the cozy, intimate benefit of being an amateur low-budget movie that tries to do the best with what it got but knows its limits because it's just so hateful and bullying to all of its characters. It even hates itself, I think. Truly terrible, indiscriminately terrible, inhumanely terrible, irredeemably terrible, intolerably terrible, and exonerably terrible. Half star.
Wow.
I wanted to watch this with my mom. Yeah. Oh my.
We just got done watching the Joy Luck Club.
Mom got to pick one and it was my turn. Oh, so yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh.
Yeah, there it is. And literally, pulled a couple of weeks prior to the recording here.
Yeah. But between the wanting to watch it with my mom and the going to that Lloyd would have pulled a Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
I don't think so.
Yeah, we've met Lloyd. Yeah,
we have. We'll tell that story here shortly.
Yes, we will. I've got two I'm going to share if you don't mind.
Yep.
The first is a 1 out of 10 left on December 24th, 2021, the day before Christmas, right at the thick of COVID. How has this not been banned? It's not really the acting that makes this filth so unwatchable. It's the horribly distasteful and disturbing cruelty. If you think this is entertaining in any way, then you're what's wrong with the world, and I want nothing to do with you. It makes me sick to see the high reviews on this.
Oof.
Yeah. Contrasted with a 9 out of 10 left in August of 2020, right towards the beginning of the pandemic, left by Glenn Matisse, The Best Kind of Trash. The king of trash movies, it's so effortlessly entertaining that things that should be offensive are easily laughed off. It's the only movie I can think of that can make a young child getting run over by a car side-splittingly hilarious.
Side-splittingly.
Yep.
Oh.
Yes. We agree with you, Glenn Matisse.
Yes, we do.
Yes, it's trash, but as your subject line says, it's the best kind of trash. All right, folks, it is that point in the show you've all been waiting for. And let's talk about Flick's signature segment, the 3-2-1, in which Oz and I each share 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1 about this week's movie, The Toxic Avenger. Oz, what are your 3 goods?
My first one is the sad Toxie montage. Just it's shot against a New York background. In the distance, of course, because we're in New Jersey, but just like slumped shoulders, sad music, like you feel bad for him. Yeah. And so that's my first one. My second one is just Bozo's intensity.
Yes.
That actor brought his A game, and I love it. Is he a good actor? Nah, but does he demonstrate intensity? Yes. Like, I'm so stressed.
She's stressing me, Julie.
Right. He's a very anxious man. Yeah. And my third, and I mentioned this earlier, is this a good movie? Yes. Is it a bad movie? Yes.
Yeah. Both of those things can coexist.
I really think this is a well done bad movie. Like, we've watched a lot and we've seen a lot where it's so bad it's good. This isn't it's so bad it's good. This is really good at being bad. Like, I really believe Lloyd knows how to make a film. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
This is he's really good at what he does, and this is what he does. It's not for everybody, but it's great.
Forgive my memory. What was you sent me a clip the other day? It's some 80s horror sequel, Garbage Day.
Oh yeah. It was Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
There we go. Yeah. Like that's fun bad.
Oh yeah, that is really bad, and that's what makes it fun. But these Troma films, they know they're okay with them being bad. Like
there's a heart to them.
Yeah, there really is. And Lloyd knows what he's doing, and this is the kind of film he wants to make. And it's like the universe and his calling found. It's like he's good. He's happy, he's content.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, so
what do you got? Sorry.
For my 3 goods, I'm going to start with, we mentioned it earlier, but I think it's worth mentioning again. Just not showing Toxie's face right away. Mm-hmm. It's I don't know, 20. I didn't time it, but like 20-30 minutes from when we see him as Toxie to when we see his face, right? And we get that whole extended sequence at the Mexican restaurant where it's a huge fight scene, and they still manage to hide his face that whole time. So
very well done.
Yeah, and it makes that shock when he sneaks into the sauna, hit that much harder. My second bad is, speaking of that restaurant, just the characters Frankie, Rico, and Leroy, as well as the performances from those guys. Yeah, they each have their distinct visual style, like teeny boppers, and then like Leroy kisses one on the cheek, and it cuts back to Rico with a gun pointed to like a cash register clerk who kisses one like on the side of the head, and then he turns back just with a like look at his face. Rico's so intense. Whereas Leroy's like having a good time.
Oh yeah, and when he kisses her on the cheek, comes away and like his grease paints all over her face, and
it's great. So just the performances by those 3 guys, and then my last good, Oz. And again, I debated, do I put this as a good or as a bad? I'm gonna put it as a good. Another movie that, and this one isn't as forward with it, but it's another movie where real estate is the driving force from the bad guy.
Yes,
they're trying to get the property so they can up the value, and another movie where the bad guy is after real estate.
Yep.
Love it.
Driving force of these films.
Oz, what are your 2 bads?
Like last week, it's tough finding bads in a movie that knows it's bad.
It's supposed to be bad.
It's hard. So I'm gonna go with the movie takes a long time getting us to Toxie.
Sure.
It's not really a long time. It's honestly like 12-15 minutes or whatever. But just there's a lot of Mark Torgel before we get to Toxie. So it is what it is. So that's my first bad. Is it's just the movie in it for an 82-minute movie. It takes a decent chunk of time before we actually get to Toxie.
Yeah.
Once we're there, he's in every scene. But that's my first one. And the second one, it's not really bad, but it's terrible. Basically the Mexican place scene before Toxie arrives.
Sure.
As much as I love that scene, let's not kid ourselves. Like there's some horrible stuff that happens in there. Yeah, that's the only reason it's there is because it's bad. Like it's terrible. The events that are going on in that place. But that's what Toxie's there for. So,
and again, it's not an excuse, but that's Troma. That's what they do. Is they are trying to elicit a response from you, and
you should be offended by that scene.
Yeah,
you should be. That's the whole point in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are my two bads. What do you got?
For my two bads, the only bad I have that's I guess really a critique of the movie outside of the stuff you mentioned, of course, but like is I don't think we needed the narration at the beginning and the end.
I don't either.
Okay, what movie were we talking about recently? Idiocracy, where the studio forced the narration in there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. It's not as obvious in this as it is in Idiocracy, but it's like the first 30 seconds, the last 30 seconds. I don't think we needed the narration. Just jump into the movie.
Right. Well, the narration, especially if it's not from an on-screen character, it forces us to like, it's like a switch flips in our brain that we're watching a documentary.
Yeah.
And we're not, but that's what it sounds like when we're being, it's like, it's just, that's how it feels when someone is telling us what the subject of what we're watching. It's like, we could figure it out. We don't need David Attenborough to tell us what's up. But yeah, I agree. I don't think the narration was necessary.
And if you are going to have a kind of an omniscient narrator, you get the guy who narrates next week's movie to do it.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yes.
Well, that's our teaser for a little later when we reveal. Yeah. My other bad for now, though, is, and again, we are recording this in early October of 2025, calling in the National Guard against your own citizens, Oz. There is something about doing that.
Yeah.
That just doesn't seem to be the right thing that our leaders should be doing.
People don't like it.
Yeah.
Like they just don't like it. And, yeah, it's a very selfish, narcissistic decision to make.
Yes, from someone who is very thin-skinned and tries to exert control and confidence, not just confidence, but arrogance into everything, because bullying is how you lead with strength.
Yeah. If they're not afraid of me, then how else am I going to get them to do what I want?
Yeah. So yeah, calling in the National Guard against your own citizens is bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Hey, Oz, what's your
I have a couple here. And these I just tore my thumbnail off.
Oh, no.
Not really, but it tore it back. That hurt. Caught it on the edge of my desk. So my first one that hurt.
It's like pulsing, it immediately turns into a Troma film. There's bladders under your thumb that are.
You're going to see blood just squirting up from the bottom of the screen.
There's like balloon noises.
Night on Bald Mountain's playing in my headset right now. It's weird. No, my first one is why did Toxie cover up with a towel before going into the hot rock sauna?
Yeah.
He didn't know. I mean, we were aware that Wanda was going to think it's Slug because of the previous scene, but Toxie didn't know that. So that's my first is why did Toxie cover up? But my real is when Toxie is peeing the toxic waste.
Yes.
And then the pimp shows up in the stretch limousine with the 12-year-old prostitute. And then Toxie takes out all of the hooligans in said limo. When they're all dispatched, Toxie takes the hand of this young sex worker and they both get in the back of the limo. Now, hold on. My question is, who's going to drive them home?
I was thinking about that too. That also was something I considered using. It's like, it's not like he gets into the driver's seat. He gets in with her.
They both get in the back seat of this limo that we just saw empty out, and then Toxie dispatched them all.
I mean, is he just gonna slip the driver a 50 and like, hey, take this young lady home?
I'm assuming the driver also got out to fight. So like, who's going to drive you home tonight? Is I guess what the moral of this. If there's a song that should have been playing over this scene, it should have been the Cars. So those are
that song's playing in my head thing.
You're welcome. So those are my huhs. Who's driving them home? So what do you got?
I've got several alternate huhs that I'm gonna quickly lay out for you. Go for it. Sarah has a Popeyes box on the counter, the second string, in which we see Popeyes chicken boxes make an appearance. There was a big presence last week.
We're probably filming in the same neighborhood that we filmed last week, so
it's probably the same Popeyes box that they used two years later in New Combine.
There you go.
So a lot of Popeyes. Where can I get an I Heart the Monster shirt? I want one.
I bet they're available.
I bet they are too. What kind of Mexican restaurant keeps a real samurai sword on the wall?
That's a good question.
But my real Oz is if Bozo is so stressed, what's he doing about it? What is his treatment plan? He's clearly ridden with anxiety.
Yes.
Everything gets to him. He's coping by, with his intense workouts. He's coping by harming other members of the community. Bozo needs to acknowledge, I need to take some professional action here.
He does need some help.
He does. So I guess that's my what will it take for Bozo to realize and take action on seeking professional help for his clear anxiety?
That's a great question. Yeah. Seek help, Bozo.
Do it.
Tromadirect.com sells I Love the Monster Hero t-shirts for $30 a piece. Act fast, as they only have 4 extra large blues, 6 extra large oranges, and 8 extra large. And there's one review, and it says, fits perfectly, 69 out of 69.
Well, if that review doesn't sell me, then I don't know what does.
But then gave it a 5 out of 5. So, But Tromadirect.com. There are other outlets, but I feel that would be the one that's probably the most authentic.
Sure. Do we want to tell our story now, Oz, or do we want to save it?
We need to tell our story. I think this is the perfect time.
Yes.
So go ahead.
I was just going to set it up for you. So As we are here in Troma Movie Month, this is a month that really is special to us in a lot of ways. We so appreciate the spirit of Troma Studios, and to the point that we have actively engaged in the past. The younger version of ourselves, hard to believe there are younger versions of us, actively engaged with Troma with Lloyd in years past. So Oz, you want to go through and what was that experience and what was it like for you?
Well, this movie has a number of sequels. There are 2 Warner Brothers produced sequels to this that are terrible, to be fair. They neutered the energy of Troma and
the charm,
and threw a lot of money at Lloyd, and they made a couple of movies, and Lloyd was not happy with them, and eventually the rights came back to Troma. So it doesn't matter what the year was, but they made a 4th Troma film, Citizen Toxie, the Toxic Avenger Part 4, in an effort to reclaim the spirit of Troma and basically make it as offensive as possible. And the movie comes out. Well, they have a Chicago premiere. At the time, were we living together yet? I don't remember.
I think so.
I think we were.
Were we in Fox Lake at that point?
I believe so. And so you and I, of course, we were roommates, and I came across basically a volunteer call. I don't know if it was on Troma's website, or it doesn't matter how I stumbled across it, but basically it was, we're looking for some volunteers to help us out at the premiere of the Toxic Avenger 4 Citizen Toxie at the Biograph Theater in Chicago. So I threw our name. I think I reached out to you. You're like, let's do it. I threw our names in the hat. Honestly, we're thinking whatever, it would be cool just to be involved.
Yeah.
As volunteers. So we get the call and we're like, hey, Lloyd's doing a book signing at a Borders or something.
I think it was the Virgin Megastore.
That you're right. It was. So he's doing an appearance and a book signing at the Virgin Megastore in Chicago. Can you guys be here at blankety blank time? Yes, we can. So we get there. Again, the entire time I'm thinking we're just gonna be stooges, just help. You know, I mean, honestly, I was expecting a multitude of people to be on hand to help. Nope, it was us.
It was us. It was just the two of us and Lloyd. You
and I were the help. Yeah. We show up dressed like we normally dress. And it was, okay, you guys, they toss you a Sergeant Kabuki Man mask. They toss me a Toxic Avenger mask and hand me a mop and say, Lloyd's over there. We meet Lloyd real quick. It was basically you guys dance around in character and take pictures with people that are getting autographs. We're basically the quote unquote mascots of Troma for this day, which is fine. Honestly, it's like that was fun in and of itself. Well, the appearance is over and Lloyd now has to get to the Biograph Theater, which of course it's Chicago. It's not like it's a couple blocks away.
Yeah.
And I got the vibe that Lloyd was like, we told the story before when we would go to movie conventions, we would not dress the part.
Yeah.
We would purposely dress like ourselves.
Yeah. We're not wearing black t-shirts with like Evil Dead 2 on it or anything like that.
So we're Troma fans, but we're not fanatics. Yeah. And so I got the vibe that the guy that was helping with the book signing was probably more on the fanatic side of things.
Yeah.
Because the appearance is over and Lloyd asks us, can I catch a ride with you guys over to the theater? Again, we're not talking Steven Spielberg here, but we are talking the head of a movie studio.
Yeah.
A man who has made a living in film. Like, this is a guy that like, this isn't taken care of. Like that shocked me was that you, Lloyd, and I hopped in your Corolla and drove through the city of Chicago over to the Biograph Theater and just chatted with the guy.
Yeah, just had a fun
that's us anyway. That's what and so we talked about film. We talked about New York. I remember him saying he loves Chicago because I love Chicago. He goes, and quote unquote, he goes, New York smells like piss everywhere you go. I vividly remember just being like, I love this city. He just loves Chicago. And so we get over to the Biograph. I'm still thinking we're just kind of dropping him off.
Yeah.
I think we were planning on going anyway. Like, that was part
we were going to go to the movie.
Yeah, we were going to go to the movie. And so, but we are now like Lloyd's guests at this premiere. You guys coming in. Yeah. Why don't you sit with me? So if I remember correctly, we flanked him. You and I sat on either side of Lloyd Kaufman as we're watching, this premiere in the city of Chicago with a full theater. You and I think we did a little bit more kabuki and Toxie stuff.
Yeah, we did.
But you guys sit down here with me. So we had front row seats flanking Lloyd Kaufman on either side.
This tiny man.
Yeah, very small man as we're watching. And he's a delight. Like, he's just everything you see in like the Troma specs of just being this nerdy film loving, fun loving goof is accurate.
Just a genuine, authentic guy.
Yeah. And that's our kind of Lloyd Kaufman Troma story. It was 1 in a million of like, let's just, we didn't win anything. It was, we'll volunteer to help.
The experience of doing it. Yeah.
And you figure a city the size of Chicago, like, that there's Troma fans there. And nobody's on hand. It's just the two of us showed up to help. And next thing you know, we're taxiing him through Chicago, where we weren't really his guests of honor, but like we're watching it with it. It was a great time.
Yeah. And I think it's, again, not to pat ourselves in the back too much here, but I think, for Lloyd, it was kind of refreshing to be with fans, but not fanatics.
Yeah, I agree. And so I guess if you're going to take anything out of it, like, love what you love. It's totally fine. Like, I'm never going to, as they say, yuck anyone's yum, but, but realize, that constraint sometimes is a nice approach.
Yeah, like less is more.
Yeah. And honestly, we've had that experience multiple times in whether it be conventions or even all the way back in college when the MTV Campus Invasion Tour come around.
Yeah.
And we were the representatives for the WHEN radio station. It's just like, they're all people. They're just, they're all, do they have cooler jobs than we do? Sure.
Yeah, of course.
But they're just humans though. And so treat them with some humanity, and just, they're not idols. They're not gods. They're just people.
They're people
trying to get through it and associate with that.
What was that MTV? Dave something. What was
Dave Holmes?
Dave Holmes. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
We palled around with him for a couple hours.
He was a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was high on Dave. That one was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I made fun of him. So that's what I do. Yeah, asked if his Italian shoes were bowling shoes. I remember asking him that. He didn't like that question.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, still one of the coolest moments when you and we didn't get the chance to talk to Garbage.
Yeah,
but man, that was the first and only that I can recollect, the vivid memory of Garbage walking out of the WIU library.
Out of the library, of all places.
Because that's where they had him stashed pre-concert. Yeah. They come walking out of the library as we were headed there, because we were going to see if we could get an interview with them for the radio. We didn't have anything prepared.
No, we didn't. we had a tape recorder with us.
We had nothing prepared for this. But we were like, let's see if we can talk to them. I don't know about you, but when they walked out, and granted, they're walking in regular speed, but with Shirley Manson and Garbage come out of that library, like, the world just slowed down.
Oh, God, I agree completely.
It was
even though, this was a couple hours before the concert, they were still kind of done up as Garbage.
Yeah, it was just easily one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
That was Shirley Manson, lead singer of Garbage, who emerged in that library.
Just legit epitome of cool. Walking, I was like, oh. She's so cool. Yeah,
Butch Vig, one of the best producers of all time, let alone, was it the guitar play? No, I forget what instrument he plays for Garbage, but yeah. That was I agree completely. Time stood still.
It slowed down. It's like, whether it happened or not, I'm like, I remember, I think she had on a trench coat.
Yeah,
it's almost like I remember it billowing. It's like the story is magnifying in my mind.
Of course.
It's like suddenly that fish I caught is a whale kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was easily one of the coolest things I'd seen. I was like, oh, she just looks so cool. They all did. So they're rock stars. Like, they weren't just musicians; they were rock stars, and they had that rock star look.
Yeah, that aura. Yeah.
So. But that's our Lloyd story. Lloyd doesn't have that rock star aura. He's just
a guy.
He's just a guy, but
it just enjoys what he does. Enjoys sharing it with people.
Exactly. And he enjoys people that also enjoy it. And so we had a great time. So, not that Lloyd's watching, but thank you, Lloyd, because it was a really valid and cool experience for me.
Very much so. All right. Well, hey, that also wraps 1984's The Toxic Avenger, Oz. What movie are we watching next week?
Next week, we're gonna throw this one back to probably the oldest written movie.
I guess, yes, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, the basis for this next one is probably the oldest written piece of material we've covered this far. We are going to cover Lloyd Kaufman's adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. We're going to cover Tromeo and Juliet.
Yes, we are. Yeah, written by James Gunn.
I was just going to say, we mentioned how Marissa Tomei has a blink and you miss it scene in Toxic Avenger as girl coming out of shower. But yeah, this is Troma films were the launch pad for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And this next one we're covering is a precursor of talent, regardless of age, James Gunn. That's right. Like Superman's James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy's James Gunn, wrote this movie, is in this movie with his brother.
Yeah.
And
his brother's amazing in this movie too.
Oh, yes, he is. This is arguably one of the best received and reviewed Troma films out there. And why James Gunn is why, to be fair, and Lloyd directed it. This is still a Lloyd Kaufman, helmed film, but James Gunn acted as associate director, and he's got his fingerprints on. Yeah,
he does,
all over this. It's like, is it still Troma? Absolutely. It's a great film though. I mean that. Like, this is a really solid film.
It is a good film.
It's a good film. But it's still Troma.
The fact that 30 seconds in, you're seeing a man getting his ears ripped off.
It's, don't get me wrong. It's still Troma.
Still a Troma film, but this movie, I mean, like all Troma films, has a charm, but this one actually has a narrative to back it up.
Yeah. It's a really solid film. So we're going to cover Tromeo and Juliet for next week. It's 5 weekers, so we still got two more coming up after this one. Both very fun movies. Again, not as a precursor, we got another Launchpad movie coming up too. So.
Yes, we do.
But social media wise, where to find us: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. You can listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts, and let us know what you think. We'd love to hear little comments and feedback. What you guys think of the show. And again, we're 206 episodes in. This one. I felt like 200 was, just right then, but I'm like, it's already been a month and a half since we hit 200. So
next thing you know, it will be at 207.
I know, before you know it. So you got anything to share before we sign off?
No, I just so love talking about Troma films and just the nostalgia. Again, there's just something different and special about this studio.
I definitely agree. So